Yeah. You're looking good, Nick.
Thanks. We done?
Main coon.
It just looks like a regular
Thanks.
cat.
We done? You get on our back porch. Mama just sweeps them off with the
Main
broom.
coon. Mama just sweeps them off with the broom.
It just looks like a regular
Thanks.
cat.
We done? You get on our back porch. Mama just sweeps them off with the
Main
broom.
coon.
Okay, so we're live, everyone.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, we're just jumping into it this week, guys. So, whoever's echoing, is that you, Dylan?
Nah.
Yeah, that was you. Alright,
Yeah, it was me.
so, I'm Big Sheeps, welcome to Sheeps Clothing. This week, as you can tell, we have From a Second Story Window here with us tonight. Yeah, so that's how we're kicking this one off, where there's no introduction this week. So, why doesn't everybody... Let's start with Paul, and then move right. Well, is everybody's window differently? Alright,
Yeah.
we're adults, we can figure out how to introduce ourselves one at a time. Let's start
Paul,
with Paul.
Will, Nick, Rob.
Alright, I'll go. I'm Paul. I play guitar From a Second Story Window.
I'm Will. I was the singer from a second story window.
I'm Nick. I played drums.
I'm Rob. I played guitar
Alright. See what
for the whole time.
for the whole time. Yeah, so you guys might have seen we interviewed Derek early on in the show, and now we have the setup with Paul. I think we're only missing two other members that have been throughout the years.
Yeah, unfortunately, the most exciting guy isn't here.
Joe, the bass player, and then Sean was the singer before Will.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get to Sean. I think we've beat From a Second Story Window like a dead horse at this point. But Alright.
Cool.
So I guess the way we'll answer is because a lot of the questions are directed to individuals. So just shout over each other. I don't fucking know at this point. I have a feeling this,
No problem.
I have a feeling this interview is going to go very similar to the Robinson interview.
Shadow.
So you guys should just all start drinking now. Dylan's going to go grab his peanut butter beer.
Peanut butter beer.
Nick.
Alright, so could all the From a Second Story Window guys, if you could pull up our feed, mute the volume. Well, if you're on your phone, don't worry about it. But just share the post is what I'm saying, so we can get some viewers in here.
Oh yeah, I'm doing it now.
And I will do the same. Alright, so what year would you say
Oh,
what year would you say this lineup took effect?
06.
2006 was when Paul joined, and that would have made us the final lineup.
And did you guys have a release with just you guys on it?
Yeah, Conversations. The last record was the 5 of us.
How do you feel about that? So, Rob, you said that you've been there the whole time.
Yes.
Do you feel like your other albums were better than the last one, or did you like the last one best?
On Conversations?
Yes.
I mean, I think they all had their own, appeal and personality. But as far as just musically, I was happiest with Conversations. I felt it was a lot of fun to play, and I really enjoyed making it with like all these guys,
Yeah. So,
But yeah.
was the reason for the other members leaving, was it like a dysfunctional thing, or was it like they wanted to pursue other things, or what?
Mostly dysfunction, I think. Yeah, obviously, I'm not here to call people out 10 years later and say this or that. But
that's why I'm
yeah,
here.
I mean,
I'm making you call them out.
Yeah, well, I hate this guy. I think normal bands go through normal things like that. You stop agreeing with a certain person or this or that. So I think it was mostly that sort of disagreements type of things. But I don't feel like we ever disagreed musically that much, honestly. I think we all, you know, a lot of the times had a similar idea of where we wanted to go.
Where did the name From a Second Story Window come from? And people who joined the band later, how do you feel about the name?
Who came up with it?
Didn't it come out of Amityville Horror?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you were reading it, Rob, and you were like, "Hey."
Yeah, it was. It actually isn't any crazy story. Like I was just reading a book about. Actually, the "not one word has been omitted" was from Amityville Horror. That was sort of like a line that we got.
That's
from
right.
There. Yeah, but From a Second Story Window. That was from a book. It was like a book we were reading about serial killers. We were obsessed with serial killers and the end of the world through this entire band, this whole process. You know, Armageddon and murder were our favorite things.
See, it's strange because that's a pretty normal thing for
Yeah.
this genre, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be named after the most brutal shit.
Right.
The one thing that we talked about
too, where those names were very popular. You know, like the several word names. You
From
know,
Autumn
it was
Ashes and from everything and first to last and all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was fine then. Now I think it's too long, but
Yeah.
I didn't mind it at all. I was just stoked to be in debate with my friends.
The fassw thing really worked, though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me
What
see.
were you saying, Nick?
Oh, just that I remember it was important to us back then when a lot of the bands that we were listening to, you could kind of tell just by the band's name kind of what side of the spectrum they kind of lean towards, and we wanted one that by the name itself didn't necessarily scream out that we were like a death metal band or, you know, like a more melodic band. And it was kind of like right in the middle.
Yeah, I always thought it was
like
pretty
Cannibal
cool.
Corpse, you kind of know.
Yeah, for sure.
Keith Carlson asks, "Who's your favorite serial killers?"
We love Ed Gein.
Yeah, the band,
Ed Gein. The band and the
guy.
killer, yeah. Yeah, that was definitely that guy was he was fucked up.
Yes.
Keith also asks, "What was the concept behind Conversations?"
Go ahead, Will.
Oh yeah.
So it was
hold
more.
on, one second.
He's like, I don't know.
The way that just worked, let's do it that way. The band votes who is going to answer the question best, and then shoot it to that person.
Good call.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead, Will.
Right on. Yeah, I think Conversations was built off of, I mean, a lot of, what the band was about was sort of like dystopia and like, disconnection from, and like how the world's ending and we're all just basically blowing it. And so the song was written, or the record was written, kind of a loose story on the world's ending, and it was different stories between different characters and how they were having to deal with the end of the world. And so it was kind of written in a dialogue format. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, if you read it lyrically, almost every line plays out as though it's being, said by someone, like an A/B conversation between two people, like song to song.
Yeah,
that's what I really liked. I remember when he was writing it and I was looking at the pages of it. It was really cool because he wrote it almost. It was almost like pages out of a screenplay or something.
Yeah, so like the first song is like a dude who's basically in like a prison or a mental institution or something, and he's trying to break out, and he's like, he finally gets there, and he, travels the sea or whatever the lyric is. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but like he travels over the sea and he escapes, So it's just cool. It's shit like that. Him talking to, his significant other about, we're gonna get out of this and make it.
Right on.
Your first lines in that song are some of my favorite lyrics on the whole album. It's so cool.
I like that. Good song.
It's 3 a.m. and we're waiting for it to rain, and I'm planning our escape. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Really cool. It was really well done.
Thanks.
Thanks, Paul.
Anytime.
We should start a band.
What was everyone's first CD they ever bought?
Boys to Men 2. And Michael
Bro,
Jackson.
I think that's mine as well. I really do. I swear.
Now,
That's the earliest I can remember.
Mine was 2 Unlimited.
What was that, Paul?
2 Unlimited. The Get Ready for This song. It's like. Dun, 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 dun. That's the first CD I ever owned.
That's awesome.
There's 27 songs on that CD.
One hit. That's it.
First music I ever purchased was the Coolio Gangster's Paradise single.
Oh, yeah.
The first CD was, for some reason, the Desperado soundtrack. I didn't know shit about music, and I just liked movies at that point, and guns on the cover, and I'm like, oh, this will be as cool as the movie. And it's just like mariachi music and shit, and I was like, that was a bad idea. I was like 10.
Mariachi music. Bad idea.
Yeah, it was good.
Mariachi music.
So what's everybody's dad's favorite music? Favorite band?
Beach Boys.
Is your dad Charles?
ZZ Top.
Yes.
Nice.
Paul, your dad's Charles Manson?
Oh, no. He's much taller.
That would be pretty awesome.
He looks like me, and he's taller than me, and his name is Paul also. I'm the third. He's JR. Big JR.
So what's everybody else's dad's? I heard Beach Boys, and then I was just like stuck on that.
ZZ Top, I think, would be my dad's. He really liked the Wonders from That Thing You Do. He liked them a lot.
My dad was not super into music. I would say like Yes and like the Eagles and stuff like that.
Right on.
You know, he like
Good shit. Yeah, my dad, the Rolling Stones.
Is somebody listening to the show on their phone? Because I'm hearing like echoing.
I don't think so.
I'm on my computer. Is it too loud?
No, I just hear it playing back from something. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. Well, at this point, we're gonna try to power through everything.
We're in an interview with a band that was going on when there was no social media, right? Or like very little social media.
Yeah.
We're not even close to this shit, man. We're all like.
I had to download Facebook to do this today.
And we're not even on it.
Right.
I tried to plug in my headphones.
I never made it to
this
Facebook.
So
headphones.
what is your guys' writing method as a band? Like, do you guys get together, or does somebody just bring something to the table?
A little bit of
I feel
both.
like it was a pretty collaborative thing. I think everybody wrote parts and then got together. And I remember being stoked when I joined the band because they had a whiteboard with like all the parts on it. And I was just like, oh, dude, these guys are like putting together some good songs, you know? And that was always cool.
When you say they had a whiteboard, all I can picture is like a serial killer with like yarns and thread connected.
Yeah, playing cards.
Yeah,
Nick and I had played since we were kids, so we always had like a good connection for writing, and then Rob and I became good friends in high school, and like I always wanted to like join the band with the guys like too. Like when like Robinson was falling apart and they first called me, I was like, yeah, they're like, you want to just like fill in for a tour and see what happens after that? And I was just pretty much like, yeah, I'll just fucking do it, whatever. I mean, this will be fun.
You're like, fuck this awesome band that I was in. I'll just go hang out with these guys.
No, it's great. I fucking love those guys. It was just, falling apart, and like Mike had said on that one, it was just kind of like dwindling out. Like, here's another opportunity to be in a great band, with close friends I've known forever, and Rob and I were like very close at the time too. I didn't really know Will till joining the band, but it was fun. We were all kind of like just fell in right on the same page and started writing like immediately. I think you guys were out at Darkest Hour, and I came and hung out. We just started jamming, like sitting outside.
Yeah, Paul sold out.
Yeah, he did.
He couldn't say no to that black market activities money.
So when you signed with Black Market, what was the deal for? Were they just like,
we got
here's a case of beer and
we got to go to In-N-Out Burger on the house twice a year. No, I'm kidding.
No, I don't remember.
It was we completed the contract. It was for 3 releases. When the day we met, we had a verbal agreement with Guy the day we met him, the guy from the Red Chord, and we played in Massachusetts, and we had our EP that we recorded that ourselves, and we pressed a bunch of them, and we were gonna make our way across the country selling them, playing VFWs and basements for free, and we knew who the Red Chord was, so at that show we were hoping to impress them, and afterwards we had like a verbal agreement to put that 5-song EP out with like some legit artwork and actually get it distributed some places. And when we did the paperwork with it, we agreed to do 2 albums following that, so it was 3 releases total. One of them was already done, and he was like, we'll just beef up the artwork and remaster it and put that out, and we're already going.
The guy from Black Market was in the Red Chord, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, Guy Kazawik.
That's who that is? I had no idea that's who that is. I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah.
See, all right, because like you said, during this whole time, there was basically no social media. It was there, but it wasn't what it is today. So when I think of bands, like you guys and like other bands in this genre and stuff, I never really had an opportunity to get anything physical in my hands unless I went to a show and grabbed it. I did end up getting a From a Second Story window shirt when I saw you guys at State Theater in early 2000s in St. Pete. I forget who.
Between the Buried and Me?
Yes, I believe that's who it was with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got the red shirt with the blood splatter face on it that said From a Second Story window, and then I actually got arrested in that same shirt three years later, so it's in my mugshot.
Where's that at?
I sent
I was about to say.
I sent it to Paul. That was going to be the flyer for this show, but.
Well, that's what that was.
Yeah, and then all right. So what I was saying is, yeah, like when I think of bands like you guys, I think of basically an MP3 on my computer because I had nowhere to buy CDs, vinyl, etc. So what I would do is download torrent packs and then find new music that way, or search MySpace or whatever. So I didn't know any band members' names. I didn't know anything like that, and I've still kind of refrained to that same mindset in the sense that I still don't know much about all these bands, and that's why it's so great to be able to do this show because I can get to know everybody personally now 10 years later. But
yeah,
I don't know. It's just
that's awesome.
It's a really cool concept to be able to make a video about a band that's really awesome, and then realistically only have 4 or 5 things on YouTube or something. So my video pops up there with all that, and it's just it's awesome to give everybody kind of behind the music, where are they now kind of thing. So that's basically what we're trying to accomplish with this show. So with that being said, is anybody in any current projects right now?
No.
Negative.
What are you guys doing with your lives? Am I gonna have to?
I think
Paul's already had this talk.
But, yeah, get them now.
How can you guys create such awesome music and then just oh, I'm done? Do all of you have children, or what's the story?
Will.
Okay. Damn, on the spot. So my story is I've done some demo stuff with some people, but nothing's really stuck. But I mean, it's really all just been for fun, I think we toured a lot, and we played a lot of shows, and we got to see a lot of the world and
which you have to at that time. At that time, that's the only way you were getting recognized, is by touring.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So you're touring 10, 11 months out of the year, and just it was an amazing time, and it was the best thing to do. my dad told me when I asked him, I was like, should I join the band? He goes, oh, dude, you're young, you're single, go for it. You know, like, get out there. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. So, but after that being said, you know, after coming home and like, I started a business. I ran a skate shop for a couple years, and it was called Canvas. But now I have a beautiful wife and one son who's about to turn 4. And I'm a sock designer, and I have a graphic design business.
Did you say you're a sock designer?
Yeah.
You design socks.
Yep. I design socks.
The foot goes inside.
Yeah. Yeah, so I design socks for Fruit of the Loom and Russell Athletics. And
Holy shit.
I'm a men's designer for a sock company. It rules. And I live in the woods. I just built a house in the middle of the woods, and it's
I'm not knocking
rad.
it by any means. That's like, you know, that's
no, man,
that's your bread and butter, but that's just strange to fucking hear. I didn't even know that, like, I mean, obviously somebody has to design socks, but I didn't know it was like a 40-hour-a-week job.
Yeah, dude, it's rad. And yeah, you don't think about it. It's just your socks. But, you know, somebody's got to design fire hydrants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, like, figure out that shit.
You need to slap some pot leaves on those socks and start selling some.
Yeah, you talk to Huff about that. I think Huff's got the patent on that sock.
No, I see him at the flea market all the time, man.
Put some weed on it, man.
You can sell anything if you put some weed on it. Alright, so, out of everybody in the band, whose farts stank the worst in the band?
Joe?
Go.
So, Joe, what's your go-to gas station food?
There's no Joe.
He's
There's
not
no Joe, dude.
Oh, he's not on here yet.
We're hoping he can join in before the end.
Oh.
Joe's.
So that's why you guys chose Joe's, because he's not here to defend himself.
Well,
Oh, that's not why.
we gotta explain. He's had it really rough for a while now. I mean, everybody's started their own successful businesses from the ground up, and that poor guy's just been struggling and, you know, getting by on what he can. So he's up at Geneva selling burritos. And
so none of you guys
I mean,
offered to give him a job? Like, he could be designing the elastic of the sock or something.
I tried to.
You gotta take care of your
him.
homies.
I tried to hire him at my gym, my jiu-jitsu academy. I had my own gym, and I train people for a living. You know, really inspiring people and changing lives and helping people, you know, be the best them. And he's not having it. He just wants to work at a shitty factory, and you know, it's weird. Feel bad for him.
Rob, what do you do?
I own a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu school.
What the fuck?
Thanks for playing along, Rob.
I was about to ask Nick, I was like, first of all, you don't look like a kind of guy who does jujitsu. And second of all, do you make all your pupils listen do you make all your pupils listen to Deftones the entire time?
Wore this shirt just for you.
I know. I don't feel like it's getting enough attention. I feel like your efforts were lost there.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, it's deeply burning me on the inside. I will tell you that. I don't know.
I'll tell you what.
I don't know why
it shows up pretty.
I've ever heard of that doesn't like the Deftones.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
All right, like in my town, there's a small. Not in my town, but the next town over from the town I grew up in is called Apollo Beach, and Deftones is something that you would lump into the category of Apollo Beach metal, and it's like. Also, bands like new metal bands and shit are in there, and it's just, I'd like you can also call it trailer park metal, or, you know, like, that's just what I think of when I think of Deftones, like, guy on cops with like holding like 3 natties out of a 6-pack, like by the ring, like explaining how his wife has a black eye in American flag shorts or something.
You got me.
Damn, new metal era, but they were always different from that to me.
No.
You made Paul mad.
Yeah.
No, everybody gives me shit. They're like, man, Deftones, you know, like they have so much to do with all the music that you like and shit. And I'm just like, nah, that it's just bad. And honestly, I can tell you, I've never in my life sit down and never sat down and listened to a Deftones song in my life.
Oh, well then.
That's your problem.
Then you really know.
I will never do it.
Come on.
Well, let's move on.
You're not talking me into Deftones. Yeah, this isn't a podcast about the Deftones.
You're the one obsessed with them.
Rob's on my screen. Oh, we lost Rob?
You're the one obsessed with them.
You started it.
He's done.
He said, "Fuck it,
Not
I'm
a
out." I got.
Hey, I got some questions on Facebook if you guys
Are you
want to
still
answer
there,
some.
Rob?
Yeah.
I'm here, man. Yeah, something happened. Sorry.
Okay, you're good. Oh, yeah, hit
Okay.
the
The woods.
questions, Dilly.
It's that Verizon jetpack, man.
My shit's solid, bro.
All right, let's see. Gladdy O said Ted Bundy was hot.
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah, tell her to go to bed.
Go to bed!
Michael Townsell asked, what inspired Delinda?
Ooh, in the early 2000s when we started putting those songs together, because it took us a handful of years to put that album together. There's different versions of how the album was written and how much by whom, but we were really inspired by like the most extreme and technical side of the heavy music scene at that time, like the first Red Chord record, the Ion Dissonance stuff. We just, I don't know, we were into a lot of heavy and melodic bands, but at that time, and being as young as we were, we wanted to do nothing but try to make the most technically out there yet listenable thing that we could. And yeah, the concept, a lot of it was Will. I think Delinda is Latin for the promise to destroy everything. Derek had that title, and we built the album in order. Every song was written in that order, actually, like 1 through 10. And
who was responsible for the ballad?
That was something Derek made on his piano.
That seems like a solid Derek move.
Yeah. He was good at that stuff. He was good.
Yeah, he was.
He later wrote a book about it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Nice.
No, I don't think so. I'm just bullshitting.
Oh, okay.
No, Derek is an incredibly nice guy. What's the story with him leaving?
Way to ask him that.
Is it just because Paul's a cooler guy?
Tell you what, man, that's the one question
I
I wish you would have asked him. I'd have loved to have heard what he said.
I think I did ask him, and he said something about like he didn't want to put anybody under the bus or anything, and it was just kind of like a decision. I don't remember exactly how it went.
I would say it was his decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scratch a sore spot or anything, guys.
No, it's fine. The way I remember it, what it came down to was Will really dropped the ball one Christmas and didn't buy everybody presents. And
My fault.
Laugh.
My bad, guys.
I mean, that's the way I remember going down.
So
You got me that Pink Floyd shirt, man.
So what really happened with the Divine Heresy tour?
Divine Heresy tour.
I feel like that was
Too many hot dogs.
that was one of the hardest tours we ever did. I think mentally and physically, and I think I can't speak for everyone, but I really felt on that tour like we had been steered in the wrong direction badly by the people that were in charge of helping us, and it was very discouraging. I feel like we got grouped in with a lot of bands that we shouldn't have been touring with, and that was sort of led to the demise of our band. It was a very frustrating tour. I remember wanting it to be over really bad and just wanting to be done, you know?
Every day.
Yeah.
Who else was on that tour?
I don't know.
No, Sworn Enemy.
Oh, yeah, they were awesome dudes.
Sworn Enemy and what was the band they had? Or another one of those long band names, like with Blood Comes Cleansing or something like that.
I don't remember.
That sounds like the right time era. Band name.
Like, we really wanted to be put on tour with bands that were more the route we were going, and it was always like, you know, death metal or heavy hardcore, and we were like, we want to be more with like Under Oath and Deftones. Sorry, Nick.
Yeah.
We started
Trying to get in that trailer
hated.
park scene.
Yeah.
I started to feel hated on the tours that we were on.
You know, unbelievably
And,
enough, like, the money is in the Deftones tours. Like,
And that's not even what it was about for us. We genuinely felt like for the first time when I got in the band, everyone was kind of like, fuck it, let's just do what we want. Let's just do exactly what we want. There was no like, let's try to add singing in more or any of that. It was just like, our favorite bands are not who we're touring with. You know, no offense to any of them, but it was like, we love heavy music, but we love being very melodic. So let's just kind of do what we always wanted to do and not give a shit what anyone thinks. And a lot of people probably thought it was more of like trying to go down that route on purpose, but it really was just what we liked. And it's like, I never listened to death metal. I didn't even listen to grindcore before Robinson. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit? Jeremy's going to play fast. So and then this band, I was finally like, let's just be free to do whatever the hell we want. And everyone was on board, and it was very open and awesome, like, writing process. And it just kind of felt like refreshing. And we want to go a different route. And like Rob said, the management like didn't really get it or whatever. And we didn't really get the opportunity to be with the bands we wanted to and get that out there that way. We fucking broke up before Conversations came out. That's how bad we were. That's how like shitty that Divine Heresy tour made us feel. And I remember staying in the parking lot with Rob, just being like, "Fuck this," and like it sucks. Like I miss it now. I wish we would have continued at least for a few more years or something to give it a shot. But it is what it is.
yeah. Do you feel?
Yeah,
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
The one thing that I feel like could have, I mean, you can't change the past, you can't regret things, but we came home after a show that was only a few hours away from where the majority of us live, and it was just this silly argument where we kind of blew up over wanting to cancel a show because we realized it was in the opposite direction of where we needed to get to, which was New England Metal Fest. And the one thing I wish we would have done was, even if we didn't go to that next show before New England Metal Fest, was to go and play that fest knowing it possibly could be the last time. Because the one thing that always kind of got to me was the last show we played, I didn't have the privilege of knowing it was going to be the last time we played together. And that's just, you know, that's just how it is.
So let's talk about a fun tour. Like, what was one of your the tours you had most fun on, and who were the bands with?
My favorite tour of all time was Canada with Darkest Hour.
Yeah, the tour Derek quit during was great.
Yes. Not because of that. I don't know, man. That was just like that was a hell of a time.
Did anybody have troubles getting into Canada?
Oh, we drove so we started the tour in Canada. You know, we lived in Ohio or Western Pennsylvania, and instead of having us play shows on the way to Canada, they had us start in Halifax. You know, so it was like a 36-hour drive to begin with, and we got to the border with all of our stuff and our merch and stuff, and we were at the border for probably 6 or 7 hours. I would say. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
They searched everything. I mean, it was, and then Derek had something on his record from when he was really young, like a teenager.
He stole from a Kmart when he was like 18.
Yes, it was something very strict, and they made him write a letter to the prime minister to get into the country. I remember that very vividly. They pulled that up on his. Everybody was clean, and they found this little stupid thing on his record, And they made a huge deal about it, and they like questioned him and like all this crazy stuff. And he had to write some kind of letter, and all this stuff. So it was kind of a pain in the ass getting in, but that was a hell of a tour.
Yeah, those were easily some of my very favorite bands, like two of my very favorite bands to listen to even to this day from that kind of scene was Misery Signals and Darkest Hour. Darkest Hour we had always wanted to tour with since, you know, the very earliest days of the band. And we became very good friends with them, like, very quickly, to where they were having us stay in their hotels, like, on a nightly basis. We weren't making, you know, they were headlining, and they always did pretty well. And they'd have, like, 2 rooms, one room for the guys that wanted to go to sleep and one room for the guys that wanted to party. And after, like, the 5th show, they were like, you guys just come to that room every night. And we were just like brothers very quickly.
Yeah, they were great.
Proud of those guys. They're still doing it. They're like as real as it gets.
And that was a very, very hard tour because Derek left, you know. So it was like our music is not necessarily set up for one guitar player, you know. So that was very stressful for me to have him leave. And those guys were so amazing about it. They like, you know, they like hooked all my equipment up to theirs so that I could play through like, you know, 4 other stacks and like just did really cool shit. They would like run sound for us and they would help me like, you know, get levels and stuff. I mean, they were just, I don't know, they were just amazing guys. They were probably my favorite guys I've ever toured with for sure.
Right on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Under Oath was Under Oath.
Under Oath was Under Oath as fuck. So is there if you could choose any band to tour with besides Deftones, who would it have been?
Every Time I Die.
That would be cool.
I would I can't say no to that. I mean, Metallica would have been fun, but you know.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the new Metallica?
No.
It's great.
It's great.
Are they still a band?
It sounds like their old shit. I just saw them in San Antonio. And it was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah. They have like 5 screens the size of like skyscrapers just across the arena. It's insane.
Wow.
Really well done. I don't know who else I can think of. Every Time I Die, I always wanted to tour with. We probably played some shows or fest with them or something, but
back in the day.
Oh yeah, we played with them a bunch of times, but it was always like on a larger bill, or whatever. I always
Poison the
Well would have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Bands that, like Norma Jean would have been a great one too.
Yeah.
I'd like to have toured with
They're still killing it. I love their new.
Verge for sure.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to tour with one of the bands that we did tour with back in the day that are like massive today. Architects are one of the biggest bands in the world now, and we got to tour with them in Red Court over in Europe, and we were playing these tiny little shows, and when I see the crowds they play to these days, it's so amazing.
We played a bunch of good rooms with those guys, though. That was a really fun, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That during my time, that's probably one of my favorites. Our first time in Europe, and at first we didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, we're so far from home, I'd never been over there, and then Architects was joining us like sometime in the first week or something, right? They weren't there at first, and then we didn't have any food, even though like we thought we should have. We go into this room, and they like live down the street from like the first show, and it had this like whole like setup for like craft services. It said Architects with like a sign written, and we had nothing, and we were like, "Fuck the Architects! Who the fuck are these guys? Like, they live here. Why don't we have anything? Like, we're 5,000 miles away from home or whatever it is." And we ended up fucking loving those guys. They were so awesome. But that was one of my favorite ones. And the Hell on Earth tour was obviously, it's our first time we had a tour bus. With Walls of Jericho. Who was it? Born from Pain.
Yeah.
Freya and All Shall Perish.
All Shall Perish. And Scott from Terror was filling in for Born from Pain. And that was, he was just...
Dude, yeah, that was a rad tour. That was a rad tour for sure.
Yeah.
Trip.
Keith wants to know if Joe will play acoustic from a Second Story window covers on tonight's show.
Rob,
No.
out.
He said that's where Joe's at. Is Joe is playing acoustic covers.
Oh, okay. So I misread that. That's why that's your job, Dylan, not mine.
At an open mic night, yes.
I don't do that.
He's keeping it alive. He's keeping it alive.
Hey, Keith also asked for Will, who inspires you to sing clean? And let me rephrase this for you, because you're now a married man with a child. How many boxer briefs came off for Ghost Over Japan?
I mean, singing is always fun, you know? Like, I think that if the part calls for it, I was always down to sing or whatever. I'd done it in previous bands, but I think it was always just trying to do what was right for the part, you know what I mean? So...
I also just felt like you could sing, so why not sing?
Yeah, it's like, let's use everything we got and just try to write cool stuff and stuff that works well together. And, I think we wrote some really cool melodic parts and,
did you ever
clean vocal parts.
Did you ever catch static for doing clean vocals?
I mean, nobody said shit to my face.
No, of course not.
Dude, there's no avoiding that in the heavy music scene.
Like, I went from, end of all grindcore band into From a Second Store Window, like grindcore, tech band, and if you evolve out of anything like that, your history or whatever, your fans or your people that or people that like your kind of music are going to say, obviously, oh, shit, that's different, But, I think all the songs work great on Conversations, I think even for us, some of it was a little bit like, some of it was kind of a quick change, even for us, but we liked the songs and we were proud of the songs. Like, I know this is crazy and I know it's different, but this is what this is where we've organically gotten, and I think that's part of what happened. It's unfortunate that we didn't get to tour on it for sure. I think we played one show and we played some of those songs, and we played some of those songs in Europe.
Yeah.
I remember we played one little show, like this little house, and I had to back the van and trailer up in this alley that had like a foot on each side, and I'll never forget that show. It was crazy. But, sorry.
So I remember when I was posting one of the flyers this week, somebody had mentioned something about you guys getting jumped by another band or members of another band.
Oh no.
So I don't remember that.
What's the story?
I wasn't there for that.
We were playing a joke. Guys jumped us, and then they ran away, and we dealt with it and moved on.
What band was it?
Oh man.
Well, it's written on the flyer. The dude said the name. I just don't remember who it was.
Yeah. It was guys from a band called Blood In, Blood Out.
Okay.
And I don't know if it was strictly just that band. We, I don't know. It was this weird bit of chaos that happened from, like, we played in Chicago. We were doing a tour that a bunch of people were showing up to. It was just us and a band called Circle Takes the Square.
Love those.
And we played in this.
Too.
We played. That's true. Yeah. We played in a VFW in Chicago, and like a couple hundred people more than what they were allowed to let in there got in, and it was
amazing.
It was
you
madness. And Will got grabbed by the crowd and was literally like just put up on top of it, and the ceiling was low, and he was getting like crowd surf. They were just bouncing him. He was going into these drop ceiling tiles and knocked one of them out. Came down holding it. And the ceiling tile was fine. It got put back in afterwards, but like that was during our last song. And Will got lost in the crowd. The song ends, and then he reemerges, and his shirt's like all torn down. He's like, "These guys just put me in a headlock and threatened to kick my ass and blah blah blah," all over a ceiling tile that didn't even break. And we almost got into an altercation with this group of people. Didn't know who they were. We were just like, that was a bit much. And nothing happened that night. And then the next day in Milwaukee, not far away, a bunch of people jumped us, and they were screaming about the night before and disrespecting Chicago. And
so they jumped you over a ceiling tile.
Dude, we were we were at this all-day festival, all day long, barbecuing outside. Like, we were one of the most out-in-the-open bands there.
Yeah.
Like, if they wanted to do it at any point, it was obvious where we were. They waited, and we were the last band to play at that fest. They waited until everybody was staring at us, and it was the very end of our first song. And I thought it was a fight breaking out on the stage, like spilling onto the stage initially. So I'm playing drums, and all of a sudden there's just huge dudes. Somebody grabbed the front of my kick drum and threw it straight up in the air, and that's when I knew like it was us that were being gone after. But there were so many people on stage that like weren't a part of it that you were just like standing there like, what's going on? And then I look over and see Rob's getting stomped, literally. Like I see his foot sticking out, and there are guys literally stomping him, and I grabbed his ankle and like yanked backwards and fell backwards, and then all of a sudden it was over. They were just gone. Like they jumped us and like disappeared like fucking Batman.
And
And
threw a smoke bomb down. Like,
dude, there was
It was straight into
gear was broken. Guitars were smashed in half. You know, my
They
kick
broke
drum
the
was
windshield
splintered.
out of our van.
Yeah, we were inside
Yeah.
for a couple of hours, and then when we finally went outside, there was a cinder block in the windshield.
Holy fuck.
But
That
yeah,
was a 7-hour
I
drive
mean,
home.
you
with
got
your
us
head out
good,
the window.
man.
So,
Yeah.
hold on, is this all about Chicago? Like, did they?
Yeah.
Is that a Chicago?
There-
is
you
there a
could see
Chicago
it-
band, and they're just like, oh, these guys broke a ceiling tile in our fucking states or in our
We got-
city or whatever.
it was this big misunderstanding where people said that, you know, like we were this band that disrespected some venue, and I could understand people being mad. You know, it takes a lot to put on a DIY show and get, you know, touring bands to come through, and you want to be able to do that more than just the once. So if the place gets screwed up, you know, these kids and show promoters don't own these buildings, so they want them to stay in good shape. And the story was as if we came through and we're like lighting the place on fire and breaking shit, which really wasn't the truth. And it was only the next day. So,
I would also, let me interrupt you real quick. That made me remember something, that I would also like to tour with Dillinger Escape Plan.
I was gonna ask if you guys ever got to play with Dylan.
Do you remember
Speak-
playing that festival?
Yeah, we did.
in Virginia, they literally lit the place on fire.
And it was gnarly.
Yeah, I remember that was
They were amazing.
That was
like pipe dream stuff. I was like, I want to be on that level. They showed up to like this small fest that had a bunch of people at it. They pulled their tour bus into this parking lot where everybody's just like eating hot dogs out back. And then they came on stage, blew fire into the ceiling, lit the ceiling on fire. And then we're like,
Pulled
guess
the
we're not
ductwork
getting paid tonight.
Holy shit.
And then left.
Work out of the ceiling.
It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
honestly.
like people thought we went crazy on stage and lost our minds, and we did. Like, I think we all really like loved playing the music, but like Dillinger, they were just that. I think they were always an inspiration for us too, right? Like,
Certainly.
Dillinger was so sick, and just I mean their
nothing
performance-
against Dillinger at all. Nothing against Dillinger. I just went and saw Dillinger, and it was fucking awesome. But at what point does that become an act? You know, like, can you really get stoked on the same shit every single fucking night for?
It's the people, I think.
Yeah, like,
dude. Probably
They're genuine. I mean, the
well,
fact
I
that
remember
they can.
being like, I remember having expectations. I was like, this motherfucker better jump off something crazy. And, like, I'm sure there was other people who felt the same way, because that's what you go to a Dillinger show to see, is the fucking insanity, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff can start to be, you know, something other than organic, and that's when it starts to definitely get stale. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to throw any drama at anybody. That
And you're trying to keep up with that. That's got to be hard to deal with.
Yeah, for
And you
sure.
really want to do it, but it's like every single night you're not going to feel that, you know, ready to jump off the balcony and break your leg.
there was a
because the crowd is like so important in that.
Yeah.
If you're playing for like people who aren't really into it or whatever, but if the crowd is there and they're stoked and they're going crazy, then you're going to go crazy way easier.
It always
Just be
made
a part-
a huge difference. You know, like,
What it was always about.
yeah.
You know, everybody feeling the same thing and being about the same shit. And
That just reminded me of that show in Phoenix where we sat down and played.
Yeah.
we played the breakdown of the song everyone was waiting for on the highest fret of the highest string, playing it heavy, and we were just the biggest dicks. I don't remember why. What happened? Was that Phoenix?
People like had their backs to us. They were like just standing around talking, and there was like 7 people there. I think.
Yeah, it was like an art bookstore. It was like a little art VFW type place that probably metal bands didn't usually play at, and there was like a 2-inch stage. Like what the fuck?
Wasn't Phoenix always really bad?
Yeah.
And then finally one time it was great.
Yeah.
With the Acacia strain, it was good.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that venue was.
It was scary, but it was good.
Scary.
So no, I remember that was one of those like beat down crowds came out.
Oh.
We came through there with Acacia strain, and it was just like nobody was safe.
Yeah.
So who was there for the trailer show?
Oh man.
Man.
Yeah.
We all were actually, and
I wasn't in the band.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Literally all of us were there, but Will was in End of All still, and Paul was in Robinson.
What was the let me hear you guys' stories of like how that transpired, because we got Derek's side of it, and we also talked to Gabe or Gab. I guess Gabe sounds weird. And Gabe sounds weird and Canadian or something, he said.
From our distance?
Yeah. And we got their side of the story of what happened that night, but like what happened in your guys' eyes?
I remember us being at a pretty sick venue that was packed, and the show got shut down.
Fire marshal, yeah.
Before we played, yeah. And this kid was like, "You guys can come back to my place and play." And we drove. It was quite a while. And
I fell asleep.
Driving. What's that?
I remember like a bunch of us fell asleep, and I almost woke up like forgetting that we were still going to play. You woke up like we drove hours, and we're in the middle of nowhere.
And then we got we drove into the woods, and it was a trailer, and we're like, hell yeah, and there was like 1,000 people outside. Like there was like more people there than there were at the show.
And band set up in the kitchen of the trailer.
Set up in the kitchen.
We told the crowd, because the show got shut down and everybody was outside, and we just like yelled, "Okay, we're gonna go to this address and we're gonna play." And then it ended up being so far that like we get out of the car and it's really quiet, and then we look, and the line of cars like was never ending following us. And so we're like, "Oh, so this actually we are gonna do this," and it turned into one of the most fun, memorable nights ever. Like the trailer was packed and people were like going nuts in the trailer, and every window around the kitchen, like on all 3 sides, there was like a full crowd around the window. And
they couldn't fit. What was the festival? What was that? Was that Rocket Fest?
No. It was just a show, wasn't it?
I thought it was.
Yeah, I mean it was the first night of the Bro Down tour. It was like End of All, Number 12, Ion, and us. And I remember End of All getting to play.
Rocket Fest.
Will, you guys played, didn't you?
We played before the show got shut down.
Yeah.
And then something, I don't remember what happened, but then all of a sudden it was like, we're going to this trailer. And then that all went down, and I remember you guys in On Dissonance had played in the kitchen, and I was like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But people were like shooting off fireworks like inside this trailer. They were like setting off smoke bombs and throwing them in the windows while we were playing, and like, you know,
it was great.
Crazy stuff like that. It was incredible.
I heard I heard Derek jumped out the fucking window or something like that.
Yeah, he did, right?
I don't remember.
You should have named your band From a Trailer Side Window or something. But I also saw on one of the flyers that I posted, somebody said something about 2 girls going through a window or something like that. Is that a story that you guys remember?
He said in Panama City.
Oh, no, I don't remember where it was, but somebody had posted something and said, ask about the 2 girls that...
Yeah, it was in the MySpace group, and then you had said, tell Paul to do a naked backflip, and then this guy was like, ask him about the time the 2 girls went through the glass, and I was like, I don't know if I was in the band at the time, or I just don't remember that, but I don't know what that was.
I don't remember that one.
No.
If If you're there watching, tell us more. I don't remember.
Is there anything in the comments right now, Dylan? Before we do that, I want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, want to hear any stories, anything of that nature, please post it in the comments, and we will get to it as soon as we can. Also, if everybody who's watching could please just go to the bottom left corner of your window and share this so more people can come and enjoy this, it would be greatly appreciated. This is our 1-year anniversary show with From a Second Story Window. Oh yeah, and go follow a new group on Facebook I made called the MySpace Revival if you want to see more awesome shit like this. Okay, go ahead, Dylan.
George Archibald
What's up, George?
said, "Dude, so happy to see you all." And then he said that you guys, the Chariots and Dillinger, had the best stage presence.
Wow. Thank you.
Thanks, George.
That's high praise.
That's good.
serious
Yeah.
right there.
The Chariot went fucking crazy live.
They
I
were
didn't
nuts.
see them until like recently. I never saw them live. I saw a video. I was like, holy shit.
They were nuts, dude.
They
They
go
were so-
crazy for Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw this new band, the 68, here, and they're fucking great.
I caught them. I believe I caught them at the Dillinger show. I don't exactly remember because it wasn't very memorable, but maybe to be honest, it was my first show I've ever been to sober in my entire life. So I was just kind of like, I'm drinking like non-alcoholic beer right now. I'm not feeling this. Then Dillinger came on, or Cult Leader was pretty good, but I don't feel like the fans were
sick
too, like they didn't really appreciate what they were seeing. It was strange.
Yeah. And they're like a two-piece rock and roll thing. Like, it's not, they shouldn't be really on that tour, but I don't know. But did they go crazy? They put on a great show here.
They're actually coming to Orlando shortly. I might end up going and check that out.
Give them another shot. I thought it was great.
Did you have any more, Dylan?
Sean, I'm just reading stuff off the MySpace Revival. It says, I once saw this band almost literally destroy a VFW hall. They played in 2004. During the breakdown of this song, you felt the floor moving in a holy shit, this may very well collapse any moment kind of way.
Is that the same show that you're talking about?
2004. Wow.
That was right. That was right in the dude core days, like, or that bro core or bro core tour.
I mean, that was before Delinda.
Definitely before
Yeah.
Delinda.
It might have been before both you and I. I don't know. When did you join the band, Will?
It was right around then, right? End of
Yeah, it was-
2004, early
Yeah.
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we
I
could
came
say.
in February. I remember it was
Wish we could
snowing
say
like
referring
crazy.
to it as a VFW show narrowed it down, but no. Played a couple of those.
So what's the weirdest place that you guys ever played? Besides the trailer.
Canada, the back of this restaurant was pretty crazy. The Darkest Hour.
Yeah.
Remember that, Bob?
Yeah. That was funny.
I'm trying to think.
Let's see. That bookstore was pretty tough, though, in Phoenix.
I would say it was the trailer. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
can't really.
that was
like
tough
lightning
to
in a
top that
bottle.
one.
That night was crazy.
For it to be such a good
Trying
show.
to think of a weird place in Europe with the Red Cord and Architects, because that was a smaller tour. We stayed in some weird places, too.
Paul,
Oh, yeah.
was it you that said that you played in a barn in Europe?
A barn? No.
Fuck,
We didn't
somebody,
play-
I can't remember who told me that, but there's like 4 bands we've interviewed has said that they played in this strange ass barn in Europe, and I want to get
Did we-
the
That was
details on
that was
Who was
I would
it?
definitely
clitoris.
for that.
Clitoris.
Killiterus? There was I heard it from like 2 other people, but I don't remember. But anyway, what's some of the coolest places that this band's been able to take you guys?
Ooh.
Going to Germany was always super fun. When we got to stay in, we had a couple days off in Germany
Berlin.
once, and we got to stay in Berlin. Yeah, and it was just a couple days of just super fun times and good food, and I mean that city was really rad.
Yeah.
Which song was that? Was that?
was it in between two tours over there or something? Or
I want to say it was the Hell on Earth tour because they were like flying to Russia and we weren't on that date. So they're like, you guys get 2 days in a hostel and just hang out in Berlin and have fun.
No, that was
holy shit.
They went to Turkey.
That was with Red Cord.
Turkey.
Red Cord was
Okay,
Red Cord was going somewhere on their own.
I'm mixing the two. I don't remember, but
I remember that was the Red Cord tour because when we came to Berlin on the Hell on Earth tour, I was like, oh my God, we're only a couple blocks away from the hospital on the Red Cord tour.
You're right, yeah.
I was blown away that we got to Berlin and I knew where I was. So yeah. It was on that one.
And that's where we wrote.
St. Petersburg, Florida was a pretty awesome place to go.
Thank you.
Did you guys remember when we played in that it was somewhere overseas and we stayed in like it was like a dorm almost. And there was like a dance club in the basement.
That was awesome.
Remember that? And we lost.
we played in the attic.
Wait. And we lost Paul, right? We couldn't find him. We were down in the dance club, and we couldn't find. We had no idea where Paul was, and we're like, oh my God, like we're in a different country. Like we gotta find him. So like we go up to the room that we're staying in, and I open the door, and he springs out of the top bunk of a bunk bed like a dead guy. He's like, oh, I was just coming to look for you guys.
He was sound asleep, dreaming about trying to find us.
That place was weird. That was crazy. We were like, it was like a school with a dance club in the basement.
Yeah.
Was that
They were like, you guys got to get your gear out of here because the rave starts in 40 minutes.
And this was
What?
this was in
Was that
Germany, you
the
said?
thing
I think so, yeah.
The Vampire Dance Club? Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about with the
Yes.
smoke? You could not see this far in front of your face, and you're like waiting for Blade to come out and blood to rain down from the ceiling and start killing everyone.
In reality,
And
there's just like
True.
dudes in leather flogging each other in that basement.
Yeah, that's what you would think. I come through and I like finally find the bar, and I'm like doing this through the fog. It's how bad it was, and I see like Scott from Terror, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Get the fuck over here." Oh, that was good.
Europe, I think Europe was, like, you ask about like cool places the band took you. Like, I don't know when I'll be able to ever visit those kinds of places ever again. In the United States, I may travel and see some of the same cities, but in Europe, you changed countries almost every day. It was, you do several shows in Germany, and then the next 10 shows were like a different country every day.
And
Oh,
not to mention the fact that if you're going to Europe or Germany or somewhere on vacation, you're not going to end up in a school with a dance club in the bottom of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Not usually, yeah. But like,
Yeah,
God, who booked these fucking shows?
I don't know. I wish they'd booked me a vacation though.
But yeah, that was just cool, man. I mean, it's just meeting, people from different cultures and stuff like that. I mean, it was just, who gets to, not a lot of people get to do that. I mean, those are things I'll never forget. Just, being in some very odd situations sometimes, where like, we didn't know the etiquette of like a certain place, or like, stuff like that.
Tipping the bartenders, they don't like to be tipped there.
Yeah.
And we're all like, and they're like refusing it. We're like, this guy a fucking dick, or like, what? It's just weird little tiny cultural things that you don't think of, like.
Yeah. We do you guys remember being in Denmark, and I remember packing our stuff up and our driver coming in and saying, we're gonna have to walk to where we're staying. And I'm like, okay, like whatever. Is there a problem? And he's like, kinda. And he's like, just go outside. So I go outside,
man.
and I walk into the street, and I look to my right, and the street is blocked off by a pile of burning tires.
Oh, that's yes.
And what happened was, there were these like hordes of like punks, like is what they looked like. You know what I mean? It was people with mohawks, like pushing shopping carts and stuff like that.
Legit
and
punks.
Yeah, like, and they had lived in these homes or whatever. And I'm probably saying this wrong, but this is a story.
No, you're good.
It was a church or something.
They had lived in these homes that were given to them, and they turned into like these, places where crime was just rampant. So the day that we played in Denmark was like the day that they raided all these places and took all these people out of these homes. So like they rioted. And I remember having to walk to where it was like a mile through and there's like people throwing bricks through windows, like beating the shit out of people in alleys and stuff like that. I'm just walking with my eyes like straight ahead, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like, they're gonna kill us all, like, and that's you're really out of your element, like, I've never, and like, what's gonna happen? Like, we're Americans over there, like, we didn't know what was gonna happen to us and stuff, but it was just crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing those burning tires. That was insane.
Yeah.
You walk out on the street and you're like, I'm just gonna get a coffee. What the fuck is that? It's like a wall of fire. And then you met like some other guy. He was like, here, everyone either hates Americans or they love them. But I can't speak for everyone else. I'm just like, what?
We're just like, oh,
hey, guy.
What's the strangest thing you ate overseas?
Horse.
I was just gonna say horse.
Yeah.
Seems
And it
unanimous.
tastes.
Yeah.
It was terrible. It was like in a stew. It was like in this nasty stew. And I mean, one thing I will say, like, I have a lot of gratitude for the way every show was over in Europe. Because no matter where we played, somebody cooked, home prepared food for dozens of guys. And there was always like a dinner call where there was like, walk into this kitchen and, they
were very kind to us there.
They probably don't even eat horse. They're just like, we got to feed like 12 dudes. Just went out back and shot a horse.
Who's got a horse? Who's got a horse we could kill?
What was our bus driver's name? Was it Richard? He drove for 50 cent and like all these other crazy people. He'd tell me stories. But I remember the day we ate horse, we sit down at catering and he takes one bite and he goes, "This is horse." And he went to fucking McDonald's, and we were like, "Oh, all right." But we tried it. It tasted like shit. It was all chewy.
That dude was awesome.
So they didn't tell you it was horse. They just kind of like put a pot in front of you.
Yeah, it was like
I don't think they thought that would be like surprising to us.
I started eating it. Was like, this is not like anything I've ever had. But it is meat.
It was like gray and like.
You're like, what is this? And they're like, we sacrificed our firstborn son to feed you.
You guys into this shit?
So was there ever like a cool piece of like concept merch that never got released from a second story window? Like Chris Arp was telling us about how he wanted to release a piece of vinyl that was like the old Disney vinyls where it had a book and it all went along with like the record as you played it and stuff like that. Did you guys ever have any cool ideas or cool anything that you didn't get to do?
I always wanted to just do vinyl.
Vinyl wasn't cool
when we were coming up on 10 years after the Not One Word EP, that it would have been cool to, even if they only made like 500 copies of it, something like that. But
doing something like that now would probably be extremely lucrative. Like if you just
I wouldn't even know where to begin in terms of who we'd have to contact to be allowed.
Well, you guys
who
could.
Do we have to call to
you
be
guys
allowed
could
to
just
press our music.
You could just give me some money and I'll handle it.
That'll work.
How about a free record?
Paul, cut the man a check.
Paul still got the check. Joe's got the checkbook.
Definitely has the checkbook.
Let me
Yeah,
get.
I was about to say.
one of them.
I took a picture of my one check I got. I remember, like, just so excited. It was like officially got paid from playing music. Finally, I have it somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it is.
No, but realistically, if you guys did like a collectible $500 or 500 piece run on some like elaborate, cool looking vinyl, and then posted it in that MySpace group, it would be gone in 2 days. I guarantee it. Like absolutely gone.
That's crazy, man. I'm very unplugged from all this. It's crazy. Like I don't know about it anymore.
Yeah. There's people in that group. There's people posting like old From a Second Story Window shirts and shit that they've had for like 8 years. Like I'm sure people like that would really treasure a piece of vinyl. I know that I would think it was really cool, and I'd definitely have to get one, preferably for free.
See what we can do.
So you're just really looking to get us to make one.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, that's how I get paid for doing this show. Unfortunately, Dylan does it because he loves it. But yeah, people send merch and stuff, and they usually are nice enough to include something for myself. So
Does Joe still have merch?
who?
Yeah.
I feel like Joe's has to have tubs of merch just around.
I don't think he has a ton, but he does still have some.
Well,
I don't have any shirts. I don't have anything.
I have several shirts still.
well,
Yeah, I've got a couple.
I'll shoot you my
Never
address.
got-
You can
never
feel
got
free
it.
to send an
Dude, go ahead
double
with
X.
I have the posters and shit still, but not T-shirts. I wish I would have saved some.
See, I gotta feel like that's like the coolest thing ever when you're in like a small band. Like Dylan and I have been in a few projects together, and I know that like, the only thing that I wish to this day that I had is at least you guys still have recordings laying around that you can always go back and revisit and stuff. But getting a piece of vinyl or getting a fucking T-shirt or shit, even a patch or something that I could look back on and have
Yeah.
There you go. That's a good one.
would
That's
be
an old
one.
amazing.
My brother gave that to me the other day when he was in town.
You
That
should
one.
frame it.
Oh, I think I have something.
This one, remember that one?
Yeah, that one's cool.
Who did the artwork for you guys on all these?
What was that kid's name that drew all that stuff for us? You know, there's one shirt
Chad. He's a great
that I don't
tattooist.
have that I wish I had with, you know, this one with the cut off hand.
Oh yeah, the fuck yeah one.
Dude, that is the best. I look it up on Google and I see people wearing it and stuff. I can't find one anywhere.
Do you remember the show, the first show in for that Architects tour, when we just kept pointing to the shirt and everybody was in the crowd would say "fuck yeah" really loud?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd be like, "Oh, when we point at this shirt, everybody say," you know. And it worked a bunch. It was cool.
Cool story,
I have
bro.
one of each of our guitar picks that we designed that were so stupid. Somewhere in here. The nose that knew too much.
That's Joe, right?
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
These are our
That's
stupid
cool.
picks. And then on the other side, it has a banana wearing sunglasses with a mustache.
How much did you pay for
Got
those?
that pic at the show and was just like, what?
Like $8.
They were nothing, or they were free at the time. I don't remember. Rob had a different one with like a weed leaf, and Joe had one with like a peeping tom on it or some shit.
So if you guys ever got to release a split between you and another band, who would you want it to be of?
Zayo.
Really, Zayo?
Yeah, they're my favorite band.
You know, they could probably make that happen for your guys' re-release. You should hit up Scott or Jeff.
I would say Architects.
I feel like Zayo is making like so much money from what they're doing. Like they're blowing up right now, and have been for a while. Because like when I look for like some rare Zayo records and stuff, I know that they're going for like a lot of money, and they recently just got like a beer named after them and shit. They had like their own beer.
That's awesome.
If From a Second Story Window was a beer, what kind of beer would you guys be?
Well, dual.
Yes.
Oh, duels.
Duels.
Hey, I could drink that one.
I don't know. I drink IPAs now. I love them.
That's what I was going to say.
I'd vote for that.
Yeah, we would do a nice IPA.
Yeah. Like smooth.
Good to see, you know.
So,
We're sweet as
what year
I'm
did...
taking you guys on a little journey. I'm putting my dog out.
Was this Sheep's Clothing Cribs Nick Hoffman edition?
Yeah.
Show us what's in your refrigerator.
Show them the basement.
Yeah, the basement. This is the house where we wrote all that shit. There you go. Vegetables and such.
Fridge looks mighty different than it used to. Full of hats and nothing else.
You're a large dude just to have vegetables in your fridge.
Well, I'm working on things, man.
Hey, you're taking more steps than I am, I'll tell you that.
That's a different interview, buddy.
Was there was there anything else in the comments, Dylan?
Mike Gardner asked if they remember the Murray Lodge show in Rutherford, New Jersey.
With number 12, maybe?
What the fuck was memorable about Rutherford, New Jersey?
Well, Mike, I'm sorry they don't remember.
I mean, we played there a handful of times. Was Rutherford where we did the filming for that little EPK thing that we never put out.
Let me release that.
I don't know. I wasn't around for that one.
Yeah.
What did we do?
Rob?
It was number 12. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mike said, "Yep."
Yeah. I remember that.
What about that?
Thanks for jogging our memories there, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure we were great.
What were some of your favorite bands from your hometown? Like, some of the most memorable?
Robinson?
Hometown? Oh, man.
I got one. Do you guys know? Well, I'm from North Carolina, so
Yeah,
do you
Will's
guys
got a
know
good.
the band Bludgeon?
Mm.
I love them.
I've seen somebody posting some of their shit, actually. And,
Bludgeon that's who got me into hardcore. That and this dude Paul Janae showed me Earth Crisis a long time ago, and I was just like, "This is awesome."
Our friends were in a really good. What was Kaylin and Mike's band called again? I haven't listened to that in years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn it.
I don't remember. It was like a death metal name.
Yeah, it didn't really suit what they sounded like, but it was very melodic. Heavy.
Lygia?
Lygia? Yeah,
That's
it was
it.
them, but not the Lygia everyone else knows. Like,
Yeah.
and I
What about
think
Prayer for Cleansing?
Yeah. You had a bunch of good bands by you, Will.
Yeah, North Carolina had a really good
Will
scene when I was
grew up, like, knew Between the Buried and Me dudes and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
somebody else.
Prayer for Cleansing for me was a huge one back in the day too. That and Zayo.
They were good.
Yeah, Earth Crisis, Prayer, and Zayo. Where Blood and Fire Brings the Rest is like the illest record.
I can't remember.
Thunder Rider was a legendary band.
We're just talking here, right?
Okay, so I guess we can move on to our next segment, which is the fan favorites. This is the Would You Rather section. And basically I'm going to ask you a series of fucked up questions and just answer them at whatever pace or leisure you can. So, would you rather eat a light bulb every day, but when you poop it's fine? Or you can eat whatever you want, and when you shit, it's light bulb glass?
Oh my god.
You know what? We used to play this game in the van all the time. Would you rather?
I'll eat the glass every
I
day.
have to go with eating the bulb and then pooping fine.
So you,
Same.
Yeah.
so you would choose normal poops over leaving every awesome food that you've ever had?
I mean, well, because if you would die, wouldn't
There's very little I wouldn't sacrifice for regular poops every day.
If Joe was here, he would say the same thing.
Hey, remember? One a day. One a day.
We'd have to explain to Joe what a regular poop was.
Where
You
is
know
he?
they come in solids?
So, who out of the group has the stupidest tattoo?
Oh. Probably me or
Probably
Dick.
me, because I didn't get any.
I was about to say, Paul and I got matching ones, kind of.
Those aren't stupid. Those are cool.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm really proud of mine these days.
I got a piece of pizza on my finger. I don't know. Nick and I got tattooed by Fox from See You Next Tuesday in the kitchen in like Idaho or Utah. Which one was it?
That automatically makes it awesome.
Utah.
That was in Boise.
Yeah. Oh, Boise. That's right. And we each got. He had just started tattooing at the time, and he brought his stuff on tour. And I guess he didn't have like the proper soap to like do it like clean. And he finally got it. Anyone who wants tattoos tonight? Let's go. I finally got what I need. So we get drunk and we're in a kitchen, and he tattooed Nick and I's thigh with a beer mug, and I got a cigarette next to mine, and it says, "Who gives a shit?" And he has one with a blunt that says, "Shit, yeah." I'll just show you. If you can see it. I can't see. No?
There you go.
While you're up there, go ahead and do a backflip.
But I actually sent him a picture of it to him years later, and he goes, "Oh, fucking God, it's terrible. Please let me fix it." And I was like, "No, you've got to stay that way."
You should just do an upgraded version on your other thigh.
Yeah.
With the IPA.
It's an ode to the days of reckless abandon, the way I try to look at it.
So,
Down 32. Drink root beer.
would you rather drown in piss or drown in vomit?
Oh,
Yes.
Piss.
Sure.
Can it be my pee?
It's your world, buddy. Whatever pee you want to drink.
Is yours better than anyone else's?
Joe's pee.
Thanks.
It has to be Joe's pee.
Oh.
I mean,
Don't vomit
we've all
that.
tasted that so many times, it doesn't matter, right?
Joe's the only human I know who can walk and pee in his own mouth at the same time.
That's fucking talent.
Think about it.
He did that the first day of our tour with Between the Buried and Me to break the ice. They were trying to leave, and he blocked the van and just punched over and started pissing all over his own face.
Nice to meet you. Didn't want it to be awkward.
Yeah, next day it was like, you guys seem friendly.
You guys seem friendly.
So, would you rather shit every time you sit down or piss every time you stand up?
I think piss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then every
I'll
time,
take-
I don't want to.
time you
I don't want to
shit,
smell shit all the time.
but every time you sit down, you'd be sitting in shit. So I mean, it would definitely be piss for me.
I'll take a little pee on the pants.
Yeah.
All right, this is my favorite one. Would you rather secrete a small amount of shit like sweat from your skin, or what is it? Once a month on a full moon, you turn into a full-fledged were-turd.
Where turd?
Dude, that would have to be a weird
Swear
turd.
turd.
I'll go with where turd. That's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm always up for an adventure.
Better than the shit sweat.
Sweat would be the worst.
Sweaty.
That would be awful.
Would you rather have 2 sphincters on your palms or 2 sphincters on your feet?
Feet. Feet.
Feet.
These are all pretty shit related.
Yeah, we're a very like dick and fart joke humor on the show.
That's great.
Pubic hair for teeth or teeth for pubic hair?
Let me just interject real quick. This couldn't have been a better time for my wife to come downstairs and walk through the living room.
She thought what you were doing was like legitimate.
I've been in the kitchen for a long time, man. I've been listening for a long time. And his answer is teeth for pubic hair. Yeah.
Definitely teeth.
You might want to ask her to leave before we get to the rest of these questions.
He's pretty tough.
So, would you rather have Cheeto fingers, like the dust from Cheetos on your fingers permanently, or
Lunch.
or a piss drip, like when you shake your dick and put it back in your pants and you still get that drip, but it's continuous?
Oh.
You mean I can always have Cheetos taste on my finger?
Yeah.
I do
So,
not
like, if
like
you
greasy
look at-
hands.
Jump right back.
No, I can't do lunch hands. I'll go with the drip piss.
Nipple-sized penis or penis-sized nipples?
I've got both.
That is a tough one.
What's that, man?
Depends on what kind of shirts I have.
You just wear a training bra and tape it
That's a really hard one. Like, just to have dicks flopping off your chest.
Imagine when they're erect.
But then to have dick at all.
You can get Will to sew some prototype
Socks.
Yeah, we can
socks
do it with
for your
some-
nipples.
You can make nipple
Big
socks.
nipple sleeves.
Nipple dick socks.
Nipple dick pussy butthole.
Hi, Mom.
Well, since your mom's watching, you can either watch your parents have
We made it, guys.
you can either watch your parents have sex for the rest of your life or join in once to stop it.
Watch it how? Like, what do you mean by watch it? You just have to stand there for eternity?
No, the way I like to think of it is like picture in picture. Like you can watch like a hockey game in a fucking soap opera at the same time or some shit on
Okay,
your
so it's always here.
Yeah.
It's right in your face.
Like where Paul is right now on my screen.
Yeah. It's your parents having sex.
I'll join in once, fuck it.
That's very rare that somebody answers that question. I'm very proud of you, Paul.
I was just going to say that. I'm not going to answer this one.
There's no way I can do it, but if I had to choose, I mean...
It's fine. You didn't have to, but you did.
Right, I'm gonna go away.
This is the second time he's encountered that question.
What I answered the first time?
Would you rather fight a duck-sized horse or 100 horse-sized ducks? Or no, the other way around. A bunch of little horses or one giant duck. And you can fight
I
them
would
as
fight
a
a
band.
giant duck.
I take the duck. That's
Giant
that's
duck, very
overwhelming.
Monty Python.
I'll kick a bunch.
Yeah, I think a bunch of little horses would be dangerous.
A bunch of little horses would kick the shit out of you.
Well, Rob knows jujitsu, so I think I think he could take the duck.
Are we fighting it all together?
Yeah, as a band.
Oh, I'll take the
We'll
duck.
take the duck. Yeah.
Shower in fish tank water for the rest of your life, or have raisins as fingernails.
Oh, fish tank.
I'm going to bed, guys. Yeah.
Fish tank water for sure.
I'll take fish tank water.
Arms for legs or legs for arms? You have a set of 4.
And now that I know I can get endorsed by a sock company, I'm going to go legs for arms.
Yeah, where are the From a Second Story window socks?
Oh, it's about to get real with the sock game. We're about to come up.
You got them thinking all kinds
Will,
of
did you just wake up?
Sphincters on the feet.
I'd go with definitely arms for legs.
All right, this is by far the toughest question of all of them.
Shit.
Would you
Don't answer.
Would you rather fuck your mother in your girlfriend's body, or fuck your girlfriend in your mother's body?
Oh my god.
Ow.
I'd rather go. I'll just fuck my girlfriend as my mom, I guess.
I couldn't even imagine how fucked that would be.
I'm married.
The answer is no.
My girlfriend on this.
The answer is no.
I don't have a girlfriend.
I think the correct answer is kill yourself.
If that's an option, I'll take it.
I don't have a girlfriend.
You can only listen to one band for the rest of your life, and it's Nickelback or ICP.
Oof.
ICP.
ICP.
Everyone always said. Everyone.
I'd be in a Nickelback. I'd be in a Nickelback crop top so fast.
Everyone always answers with no hesitation on that question. ICP.
No.
Because everyone secretly listened to ICP at some point. They had one album or some shit like.
That is
I
absolutely
listened
not
to
true.
I listen to them, but I would rather listen to Nickelback the rest of my life. Absolutely.
Fight a teenage bear or 3 ostriches that are on cocaine.
A teenage bear.
It's got teenage angst.
We got like a backwards hat and stuff.
Definitely the ostriches, because any
Ostriches
bear
are
will
mean,
fuck
dude.
them up. Well, so will ostriches, though. Yeah, they're
They have
huge.
small necks, though. You can probably get at it.
I saw this thing on Facebook the other day. They made deviled eggs out of fucking ostrich eggs, and it was badass. There's no really point to that story, but they're huge deviled eggs, and deviled eggs are
Jurassic Park, they made velociraptors from ostrich egg.
Hey, do you guys remember in Virginia that one time we were playing with the acacia strain, and they had that kid come up on stage and eat those expired quail eggs in that can?
Oh man.
You remember that?
Yes, he
There for
threw
that?
up all over.
They were like expired like 7 years ago. These little tiny quail eggs. They smelled like death, and this kid came up for like a T-shirt or something. And he ate a bunch of them.
Acacia
Dude,
Strain knows
I
how to
remember-
put on a show.
They do.
I read about that. Vince wrote a piece for a magazine about that exact thing, like a handful of years. I thought, and I don't know, like a metal edge or revolver or something. It was like
Don't
people
call him
talking
Vince.
about crazy things at shows, and he wrote about that. Yeah, that was disgusting.
All right.
He was eating them, but Seth threw up all over the place. Remember?
Yeah. Their bass player. Yeah.
Would you rather have your body found on a pile of sex toys or naked pictures of Guy Fieri?
What do you mean? What would I rather have my body found on?
Yeah, sex toys or pictures of Guy Fieri?
What? I'm confused on this.
There's some classy pictures of Guy Fieri. They don't have to be.
I hate that guy though. He's a fool.
Believe it or not, Guy Fieri, Violent J from ICP, and the lead singer of Smash Mouth are all the same person.
I hope that's true.
He just has alter egos. He's not the sharpest.
It's the Illuminati trying to trick us.
Right? Would you rather have a 10-inch long belly button that swayed to music or accordions for legs?
I think the belly button would be fun for a day.
Wait to music.
So, Paul, I just received something in a private group chat, and someone already made a meme of you and your parents.
Oh no. Before.
Excellent.
I deserve.
I told you this was a good idea.
Would you rather have vagina armpits or an armpit between your legs?
An armpit between. I already have an armpit between my legs, so yeah.
All right, 2 more questions, and then we'll be done with this. Would you rather live forever or die in the next 5 minutes?
That's a question.
That's hard.
I guess live forever.
Yeah.
That's my first thought. But what if it sucks?
There's some stuff. There's some stuff I want to do.
Well, you have plenty of time if you live forever.
You know what I'm saying?
And the last question is, would you rather have 5 penises or no penises?
Like in the same spot?
Yeah. like a bushel
Yeah, like
of
are they,
asparagus.
you mean like they're on my body, or they just belong to different people but have to do what I have?
They belong to me.
It's like a pack of hot dogs between your legs.
Like if Rob's penis contractually had to do what I said?
That's really hard, because they would both suck. No penis or 5 hot dogs?
Yeah.
Uh,
Not 5 hot dogs.
I know.
5 penises. Is there like an inside thing with this band about hot dogs? Do you guys just all really like hot dogs?
We ate a lot of them.
We did.
We had a grill we kept in the back of the trailer that we would cook out on every chance we got. I'll take 5.
Hot dogs broke the band up.
That was a sore spot. It was.
Yeah, you nailed it. You peeled back the onion. There it is.
Okay, so you guys made it through the gauntlet. Congratulate yourselves.
Good job, dudes.
So out of the band, who is the biggest drama queen? Who complained the most?
Derek.
I mean,
Throw Derek under the bus.
I
Nick,
mean,
you think
yeah.
it was you?
Probably Nick.
Getting towards the end there, it got pretty queenish.
Nick, yeah, you're good at letting us know how you feel. We appreciate it.
All right, is there anything in the comments, Dylan?
Huh. Keith Carlson said, Will can make a custom sock for 5 penises.
That's right. Ingenuity.
Like toe socks, but longer.
So, what's the worst stage injury that one of you has received?
Oh, Joe.
In terms of like who's here now, Rob's broken an orbital bone from the blood out there, pretty bad.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst.
It was like 10 minutes later, and it looked like there was a golf ball like underneath his skin where his temple was.
Oof.
I got hit with guitars a few times.
Yeah, there was a lot between everybody.
I got cut his head open really bad one time.
Joe's bass string on one of his guitars caught me during the show, and it just slipped. Like, I got a scar pretty good right there. It was bleeding really good.
I have a good story. We were playing in San Francisco at the Pound, and Joe hit me in the face with the end of his bass and knocked me out while we were playing. And I woke up and just joined back in. Like, he literally knocked me down flat on my back. And I woke up, and my guitar was just laying on me, and I heard, like, the drums and the song, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I picked up where we were.
Like clockwork.
Yeah.
He punched me in the face or elbowed me in the nose once. I'm pretty sure it broke, but it wasn't crooked or anything, so it was fine. It was in Pennsylvania with August Burns Red. I think it was the first night we were playing with him, and he was just, you know, he strummed really fucking hard. And then I just turned around the wrong time and got an elbow right to my nose. And it felt like it went flat against my face. I was like, right, the blood is going to come gushing out. So I was like, let me just lean forward and keep playing. And I was waiting for it, and nothing happened. And luckily, but like it hurt for like another week. So I'm pretty sure I had a broken nose. But other than that, I've been extremely lucky. I've never been hurt really bad on stage or anything. I got through it.
So guitar whip over the shoulder or behind the back?
Either. I got too scared to do it. I didn't like it. I tried it once.
Joe did it pretty well.
Yeah. If I ever tried,
it was behind the back.
Shoulder. It was over the shoulder.
Yeah,
that was ballsy though. That was a tough one.
I never had strap locks.
Yeah, me neither.
So, what was the first moment that you realized that you wanted to be in a band? Like, if you were at a show and you saw like somebody and you're just like, fuck, I want to do this, or was it just kind of like, all my friends are in bands, I want to start playing instruments, or what?
I was in a cover band in high school.
What?
For me, it was watching Nick play guitar my mom lived in a duplex, and she had this neighbor, this cool old guy named Jay, and he'd sit on his porch and play acoustic guitar with his dog. And like Nick and our other friends were all over there when we were young. And I remember you knew how to play like a few songs from Brady or whoever taught you, but you'd flip the guitar upside down because you're left-handed. And he let you play it. And I remember you doing that. And that was the moment. I was playing like fucking trumpet in school band at the time or something. And I remember you started playing a Nirvana song or something upside down. And I was like, I want to do that. That's fucking cool. Like I just remember that moment standing in my driveway watching you play my neighbor's guitar. And then we ended up doing all this shit together.
That's
the moment for me. I wanted to start playing music for sure.
That was the first time I ever heard you say that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not true.
What else can I say?
Because it's not true.
I had a guy named Vince Pine actually had brought a guitar into show and tell in 7th grade, and played like 2 Nirvana songs, and I was just hooked. And that he showed me how to play guitar, and that was my first band. I was just hooked instantly.
Bullshit.
Just seeing someone play show and tell in 7th grade. I mean, I guess it wasn't show and tell. It was kind of like, what do you do? What do you like? I mean, I don't know. But yeah, that's how I got started.
What was your hold on, Nick, did you want to say something?
I was gonna see if Will was gonna go.
Will, Nick?
Oh, I got into a band. I played a talent show in 7th grade, and we played When I Come Around, and then started playing in bands ever since then.
Right on.
Yeah, mine was Nirvana seemed to be a thread for almost everybody. Mine was just the first time I saw video footage of Dave Grohl playing drums in Nirvana, and it looked like the most fun I could potentially ever have. And I don't know, wanted to try.
Nirvana, basically.
Huh?
I said so. Nirvana, basically, for everyone.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, yeah.
And then strongly influenced by Earth Crisis.
I've never listened to Earth Crisis.
I sort of missed that era.
I was young, for sure.
A little bit, but
We toured with Freya. That was rad.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen at a house show?
Oof. House show.
Just,
Had to be, well, probably where Nick's sitting and some shit went down there.
Wait, what?
In that house, one of the shows that happened down there.
Oh, yeah.
you know, those things just get wild sometimes, you know? Stuff gets broken and people go through a wall and, you know, lights get broken out. I mean, kids go crazy.
Do you ever have anybody's parents come home?
I don't think so.
Oh, we had that one. No. I'm thinking of something else. We chased a kid trying to get paid. We didn't do anything to him, but I remember chasing him, like waiting outside of his like parents' house for him to come home because he disappeared or something.
Oh, yeah.
Come up or anything. We just want to get paid.
Hey, man, we just want to get to the next town.
What was that show from Freddie Fresh's that moved back to the house?
Oh, that was with Misery Signals.
Yeah, 7 Angels, 7 Plagues. It just became Misery Signal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was literally, it was the first Misery Signal show.
Yeah.
They got there late.
And that's crazy.
Yeah, they got there late, and the show was canceled, and we stood outside talking to them, and then we're like, well, you can come back to our house and the place where we practice and set up. We'd love to see you guys play. And that's the house I live in today.
Right on.
Probably a naked John on around there somewhere.
Oh, the ceiling tiles in the basement, there's a few that I think Rob did it or Joe did it, but there's a handful of them that say tuna over and over again with arrows pointing to where Derek's stuff used to be.
I forgot about that nickname.
You should jump him for writing on your ceiling tiles.
Hey, Josh Smith asked about, he said, talk about the spatula fights.
Josh Smith.
Oh, Spatula Fight Club.
Spatula Fight Club.
We would well, sometimes they were flaming. We would, and Josh was a big player. We would take spatulas, and you would hit the other guy on the arm as hard as you could, and you go back and forth, and whoever quit first, that was it. But sometimes we would put lighter fluid on them. It would light them on fire first. And there were some ugly wounds from that stuff. It was disgusting. Sometimes we would use like metal ones.
Oh.
And
yeah, I had busted blood vessels. Like it looked like a tattoo of just like nothing but just nastiness, and it would last for months and months and months.
When I first joined the band, one of the first big parties I went to with all the dudes, they were doing that, and I was just like, all right, like I'm with some
something.
I don't know if I'd be more shocked by spatula fights or some dude pissing in his own face, but
Breaking the ice.
That was originally going to be my answer, was the various quantities of his own urine that Joe would sometimes consume at a house.
How about in Scotland? That time in Scotland, like in the venue, he like chugged an entire pee bottle to like freak everybody out. Remember that?
Why did he do that?
A full Aquafina bottle.
Yeah.
Just downed it, and everybody was just like.
Well, that's actually like a new health craze right now, is drinking your own urine.
Of course it is.
Joe's healthy.
It is. It's the first inexpensive one I've heard of.
Yeah, evidently drinking your own piss cleanses you of toxins or something. I don't know.
That doesn't sound right.
Next, killing yourself.
That doesn't sound right.
Drink the toxins that your body's expelling, and it'll expel the toxins.
That's what I thought the first time that I heard that too, and I.
But it's working for you?
Yeah, totally. Well, I actually have Joe send me his piss because it's what keeps everybody healthy.
There was a game that we started playing once we got on the road with Heavy Lolo called oh damn it, what was it called? Buffalo. Yeah, and the point of the game. Yeah, the point of the game was since the majority of people were right-handed, you had to keep Okay, yeah.
Buffalo now, yeah.
Keep the beer in your left hand so your right hand's available to shake hands because, you know, we're a bunch of weirdos, but the idea is we're gentlemen, so you can always shake hands. And we're at this party after a show, and we were all pretty well lit up, and Joe had literally filled like 3/4 of a 40 with piss. Just done it, and we taught this game to like the kids we were partying with, and there are a few things more addictive than that game right at the very beginning. People are just like trying to get everybody.
Yeah.
As soon as he finishes pissing in the bottle, he holds it up and he's holding it in his right hand, and everybody's like, Buffalo! And he's just like, and then he looks at Rob and I and just shrugs and just.
I forgot he got buffaloed with his own piss.
I mean, he never complained much. He said it just tasted. He said depending on how much beer you had, it would just taste like hot beer.
That's gnarly.
Which is fine.
I wish Joe was here.
I know.
Where is he? I'm gonna text him real quick.
Well, we're about to.
Eli from Knife the Glitter says hi. Long time no see.
Wow.
Hey, Eli.
That's awesome.
What's up, buddy?
Eli, contact me. I'd love to do a Knife the Glitter interview.
Yeah, that band was rad.
They were real cool dudes. Really cool.
So yeah, I'm pretty much out of questions unless the crowd has anything else they want to ask. So I'll give them the opportunity to do so now. Also wanted to state, Paul already knows the drill, but if you guys do have any merch or anything that you'd like to send over, we do a lot of giveaways and shit, and a lot of people have followed the page just since we post the From a Second Story Windowed stuff, so we'll make sure that it gets into good hands if that's possible. And I don't know, maybe we'll follow up with Joe and have him come on for a night or something, and he can explain his side of the stories.
I promise
we could do an
you
entire
wouldn't.
show with him.
Yeah, I promise you wouldn't regret
It
that.
would be way better than this.
No,
He's the best.
This is definitely awesome because, like I said, you guys have been a band that I've listened to for probably like a decade. Seeing you guys like a decade ago at State Theater was insane, and it's always cool to connect with people that you've looked up to musically. So,
Thank you very much, man.
definitely wasn't a lost cause to do this at all. So I guess with all that being said, usually my last question is, I'll still give everybody an opportunity in the comments to drop your last comment, and if you want, do that right now, because after this, we're just going to wrap up the show. What has been the most fulfilling moment of your guys' musical careers, individually?
I know mine. I don't know if anybody else wants to go first, but
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
This completely restructured my idea of what I perceived success to be as a musician, because there was kind of a traditional idea of it to an extent where you're making your music, you start to make money, and you can pay all your bills doing that, and blah blah blah. But the first time we went over to Europe with Redcord, we were in Scotland, and this kid came up to me, and such a thick accent that it was almost like we weren't speaking the same language, but he was speaking English. And he recognized me and introduced himself, and told me that our songs and the way I played drums inspired him to start playing drums and made him want to start playing drums. And while we were talking, his phone rang, and his ringtone was one of our songs.
Holy shit!
and
That's awesome.
and right then it became like I was very aware of how far away from home we were, and how this all happened because the group of us met. We were close friends, and I was just impressed at how far the music that we wrote together and made for fun had traveled.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it meant the world to me that somebody would say I was the reason they wanted to play drums, because when I think of like who I would be saying that to, and you know how grateful I am for that person, it really meant a lot to me, and it just kind of made me, you know, stop focusing on the things I didn't have and be grateful for the things that I did, because, you know, we got to go around the world and do way more than I'm sure any of us ever thought we would do. And the fact that it's been 10 years since we broke up and somebody wanted to talk to us about that stuff it's incredible to me. It means a lot. I'm pretty far removed from it, like same as what Rob said, but it's good stuff. It was a wonderful, beautiful part of my life, and it's always going to be way up there for me.
Are you surprised to see some of the stuff that people are posting in that group?
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. It blows my mind to think that, you know, like we still have any kind of relevance in people's day-to-day with the music they listen to, or, you know, whatever pops into their head, because in this age of everything always turning over and it's always about the new thing, something that's been old for anybody to ever mention to me, like it's hard to get anybody's attention these days with how much is being thrown at everybody constantly, and the fact that we ever end up in the mix, to me, is mind-blowing.
Right on. Anybody else? I feel like we're at a fucking AA meeting right now.
I can, yeah, that's weird. That's weird.
I can't think of a specific instance like that, but I do remember something about just like how the best, like, heaviest and chaotic music always comes from small towns and where people are struggling or going through shit. Like, and being over there and meeting a kid like that somewhere in Europe. I might have been. Did you say Denmark?
No, Scotland.
I think it was Denmark. I'm thinking of. We played at like a really small venue. We had like a tiny green room in the basement, like with some beers, and we had met some kids who had come to see us and made friends with them, just like chatting outside. And like we were like, yeah, come hang out with us down here. So they came down. And he was explaining to me how they don't have music like that from there because everyone's lives are basically taken care of from the day you're born. You got free healthcare and education and everything. He's like, no one's angry here like that. So like, we appreciate what you guys do so much because it just doesn't exist here. And like coming from somewhere where people actually struggle and have real feelings and are angry and pissed off at their situation, and that you create this beautiful, you know, chaos, whatever the fuck you want to call it, out of it. And then they come to see that, you know, fucking across the world, and says that to me. And I just remember having a really deep conversation about it. It was really cool. And it had nothing to do with like him, you know, loving our band or recognizing us or anything like personally. But that was one of the moments for me that was like, wow, it's cool to be a part of that and to have a completely different perspective than someone who that doesn't exist around that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it. It's really cool. So yeah, that's mine.
Will, Rob, you got anything?
Yeah, I don't have a. I don't think I feel like I look back at the whole thing, you know, as being fulfilling in a lot of different ways. Of course, the things like that, like going overseas and knowing that someone that far away cares about, you know, what you're doing was always mind blowing to me, and just, you know, humbling on a, you know, huge level. But that band taught me so much about life and how to like coexist with other people. It taught me. I mean, it taught me how to like respect other people, their space, how to live with other people. Like, it's not an easy thing to do. And it showed me a lot about life. And you know, one of the sorry. There's so much, you know what I mean? One of the things that I always think about is how, you know, special, you know, the relationship that we all had, what, you know, it was, and taking care of each other. And the way people took care of us, you know what I mean? People didn't know us, you know, anywhere. And they took us into their homes and let us stay in their houses. And we could have stolen all their stuff, you know what I mean? But, like, we were greeted by so many wonderful people. And, you know, to see that kind of, like, love, like, given to us without people knowing who we were all over the world, I mean, that was like a huge thing for me to see as a person, you know what I mean? And just to learn about, like, man, there's so much good, like, everywhere, you know? And I think that was just a huge thing for me. That was huge, like, that people did that for us. And I think it showed me, like, you know, everyone always says, like, you know, everybody sucks, the world is crazy, and this is all shitty and whatever. But there's a lot of good out there, and we saw a lot of it, you know? And I think just looking back on the whole experience, like, that really, you know, resonates with me for sure.
For sure.
Well said, my man.
I think I can definitely piggyback off what Rob just said. Is like, you know, the like whole community, the scene we were in. You know, I think we knew we made it when we were able to like play shows freely and like play good shows, and we knew we always had a core group of people that would come see us, and we always knew that we had homies and friends, you know, men and women, boys and girls that were just like part of the family. And like when you're in like the hardcore scene, you know, I mean, we weren't like quintessential hardcore kids, but like, you know, we kind of were into that, you know, like we were into the community part of it. We were into writing good songs and putting out records. And I think it's like when you put out music and anybody connects with it, and especially when you get to the point where you have a Metal Blade record, you know, I mean, in the hardcore scene or like metal scene, you know, as a metal kid, you're like, damn, that's a huge thing, you know. It didn't, you know, we didn't get to really play on that record that came out on Metal Blade, but it's on there, you know, and it's out with Metal Blade and Black Market, and like that was a really big thing for me because I like metal and hardcore, and they were a huge label, and that's pretty awesome. But you know, I think we've all probably had similar stories where someone's come up to you and just said like, "Hey, man, like this song specifically, like helped me out," or like changed my opinion about something, or like helped me through something, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's what kind of like heavy music. When I started listening to heavy music, it was like, whoa, these guys are saying something, and it's crazy, and you know, it's got a message, and it's, you know, it got me through some things. So I think that's really important. And
for sure,
the fact that I travel the world with these dudes is just as good as it gets, you know. So super thankful and appreciate you still liking our band.
It's not just me, but so next week we're gonna have the band Name on the show. Did you guys ever get to play with Name?
I know of them. I don't think we played with them though.
Yeah, it's crazy. They've been around for just the same amount of time, maybe longer, maybe not. But it seems like they weren't just not one of the bands that would like catch on, you know. And it's crazy that they're still together and still making music. So they will be on next week.
Awesome.
I really appreciate, and I want to thank all of you so much for joining us tonight. Like this, I couldn't have asked for a better 1-year anniversary show, and you know, thank you so much, Paul, for helping get this together. And
absolutely,
much obliged, gentlemen. Much obliged.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
Great, man. I'm glad you're doing this. Someone needed to do it, and it's very cool. Like you said, there's not a lot of shit from that era. Like there was no social media, and like YouTube was very new, like 2007ish. So like getting to like talk to, and I've gone through and watched all the interviews with other people, and Ed Gein and people we've known. It's so cool. So thank you.
And it's also it's super fulfilling to be able to get guys like you back together, and even if it's only over the internet, to sit down and talk to each other. Because
this is awesome.
I'm not saying you guys are going to get back together or anything, but it's good to know that you all still have fond memories of the experience, and it's cool to see that like unfold during a show. So
yeah,
maybe
we'll do that Zayo split.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be sick. Honestly, you guys just need to put your own shit out. Like just do one more, then call it quits or whatever. But make a little fucking money off your guys' band here. You know, come on. You did the whole. You didn't sell out. You know, you kept it good the entire time. Now you guys are old. You got families to take care of. I mean, how far can you go selling socks, man? I mean, is that gonna last forever? You know,
Time to cash in on that death metal scene.
Hey, give your kids a record and be like, here, this was your fucking dad, fucking 20 years ago or some shit. You know, like.
I can't wait for that day, man. To like have my kid be old enough to talk to him about it and be like, I know I suck, and I know you think I'm the worst person and boring, and I'm a loser old man, but check this out.
I know I suck.
You're telling your dad, you're gonna be like, son, listen here. I know a lot about life, and I've seen a grown man piss into his own face about 30 times.
You don't know where I've been, boy.
Yeah. There ain't nothing your old man ain't seen. But,
Thanks, man.
yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you so. Thank you so much, guys. Really.
Had a great time. Dylan, is there anything else in the comments that we can get to before we get out of here?
Are there any unreleased from a second story window tracks?
There's one. The instrumental.
Yeah, it was more like a jam. It wasn't a fully formed song. But when we did Conversations, the first few days we were there, we all set up in the live room, and we ran through the entire album front to back as a full band and recorded everything. And there was one extra thing that we had that we weren't sure if it was going to be another track. It was just like a really kind of repetitive, vampy, but heavy, kind of like Pink Floyd instrumental jam. But, I mean, I don't think that's a song. But
Well,
Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a song.
I would just have Will throw some vocals on it and then put it on the new album you guys are gonna make.
I mean, that's it. We've just been waiting for Will to lay down the vocals for it. And
That's the hype right there.
10 years!
He's still working on it.
yeah, we never broke up. We're just finishing that record.
Well, between the 5 of you guys, I think you guys could finance one last release on your own. You know, I don't think it would be that hard to do like 1,000 copies or something. You know.
No, it wouldn't be hard at all.
I'm really fucking pushing this right now because I want it to happen. I just want to be in
See
the
what we can
credits.
do.
I want to be in the credits of the record
All
that
right.
says, you know, Big Sheep's badgered the living shit out of us until we did this.
For fans of Deftones.
Just Deftone worship. That's what you'll call it.
Trailer Park Rock.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again, and have a good night. And I hope to see
All
you
right,
guys.
man.
I hope to see the ones who are not off the grid in the MySpace group.
For sure.
Thanks, man.
Thank you,
Peace,
guys.
everybody.
See.
Later.
Did we get everybody? Is everybody hung up, or is Nick still here? Okay.
No, you're Nick.
He's gone. All right. What nice guys, Dylan.
So while everybody's still watching, I just want to put it out there that Nick made a vocal video like the old MySpace days, and he won't post it. So if you want to see Nick post his vocal efforts, smash the emoji, the angry emoji.
Smash that angry emoji. Oh god, fucking! I think Nick's face is gonna be here with us for the rest of the show. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, let's go back to normal view. All right. So, what else have we got going on this week? How about that MySpace group, dude? My fucking eyes are bleeding.
Dude,
You're loving it.
insane.
You're loving it. I know you are. That's the most I've seen you
Insane.
post. Most I've seen you post on Facebook in fucking ever.
Ever.
Dude, take
I
off
don't-
that fisheye lens, dude. Like half the screen
Okay.
is just black. There you go. Yeah. So, what would you like to see come from the MySpace group, Dylan?
I want to see some magic happen. I want to see some reunions, some represses. I think.
Dude, I want to get us into this repress game. Like, I don't want to fucking. I don't want to fucking like give everybody our idea and stuff, but you can really tell that all the people that we've interviewed, they kind of would really like to just have one more thing, you know. If not like a reunion, like they don't want it to be dead. Like I can tell that they don't.
Yeah, but I'm sure somebody owns their stuff.
Yeah.
Not just. I mean, all the bands that we've interviewed, somebody owns the rights to this music.
Yeah, for sure. But on the same token, they could all send each other tracks back and forth until they figured out an album. I mean, it's like 45 minutes worth of music, you know? And I don't know. I feel like it would be sick. I would love to be able to, I don't know, buy the rights to that music or something one day.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I don't like Frontier. I don't know how the hell he does it to make all the tracks and then sends it to somebody.
Yeah.
Like, that's so much work. It just seems like a lot of work to me.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, you can do all your recording and stuff at your own leisure, you know? That's the cool part about it.
Yeah, but when you go at your own leisure, it doesn't get done.
Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm really feeling the new group. Maggie's already gotten mad at me for being on my phone so much.
Oh, yeah, Ashley's there, too.
It's just... They don't
She's
really
like, you can post a MySpace revival all day, but you can't text me and check on me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it's just a lot of people are still really into this, and honestly, I think that in a big way we're really helping it make a comeback, you know? And to see more of this happen, like over the last year, I've seen it grow, you know? Like when we started this, it's like, oh, a couple fucking viewers, a couple people cared, like a comment like, oh, this is cool, you guys are talking to these people or whatever, but now it's to the point where like it's actually becoming something, and it only took us a year, and I feel like if we do this for like another year, and not that we'll single-handedly be, you know, responsible for the MySpace revival, but come on guys, help us bring it back.
Hey, there's a lot of anger. I want you to post the vocal attempt that you did. I want to see it.
I'm not going to post the attempt, but once I get a good track down, I'll post the good one. I'll show you personally the shit one.
Did you have your hoodie on?
Yeah.
Were you like covering your face and
well,
like?
I started with the hoodie on, and then it was so hot after screaming. And dude, it's insane how much easier it was to do that when I was like 19. You know. It's insane because like the third take, all right, the first one came out so bad, and it was just like, because I've always had a problem doing like dry vocals into a microphone that I'm not able to cup and give my own effect to, that's not coming out of an amplifier or a PA that has like natural distortion in it and stuff, you know. So it's just such a weird sound, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, the highs...
You still got the chops?
I believe that, yes, I do, because when I was doing, like, karaoke last year, I was still able to do some pretty fucking sick vocals. But that was also through a PA. If I have a PA, no fucking problem. I think what I'm going to do is I have a starter amp, and I'm going to get a microphone, set it up through the starter amp, and then set my microphone inside of, like, my record cabinet or something, and then do it that way. But just dry vocals into a fucking standalone Yeti fucking Blue Snowball or whatever the fuck this is, like, it is so horrible. This microphone is made for talking, not for screaming, so, like, my lows, it, like, barely picks them up, and then my highs are, like, ear-piercingly high, and...
Well, you just got to get you a different microphone, and then you can sing into your computer, and then mix and master it.
I don't,
through Audacity or.
I don't want to mix and master my shit. I just want to lay it down and let it be good. But it's a whole different ball game than doing it live.
What do you mean?
You know?
You said you don't want to mix and master. You said you want to fucking run it through a PA with distortion. You don't make any sense.
Natural distortion, just the gain all the way up. You know, but it's bad. It's bad, and maybe I'll grow the balls and just post it for shits and giggles. But in one take I did it, and I just started hacking my lungs up, like coughing like crazy, and I was like, fuck this, and I went to the kitchen and I ate like 4 spoonfuls of peanut butter, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back in here and take care of this shit. It was an ordeal, man. I think there might be one that's decent, but it wasn't good enough for me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't doing it in Audacity or anything like that. I was doing it on OBS, this right here. So it'd be like me screaming to you in a Skype call. Like, is exactly what it would sound like.
It would sound clear.
Yeah. It sounds
You
like
would
this.
definitely, you could tell you were
It doesn't sound good. Like, it's
It doesn't. It just, it peaks, or, what's the word? It,
yeah, all the shit's too
clips.
high. I
It
gotta
clips,
with my
yeah.
settings and shit. But, I don't know, maybe I'll figure something out. I don't know. But
You just gotta get a different microphone.
we just need to talk Robert into starting Esteban Was Eating again. Like, all this...
Oh my gosh.
all this
Dude, I
reunion
listened
shit
to that thing you sent me, and I was like,
is so
wow.
good. We were so good. Like, so good.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Hey, you gotta check the sheet messages, too. There's something pretty interesting in there for you.
Dude, I wish I could just go back in time to your old house in the band room and eat chicken crispers and drink and lay it down.
We
were so hyped
yeah.
we called your friends over. We're like, dude, this is so heavy. Somebody has to hear this at our first practice. It was so good.
No, it was pretty good. I'll give it. It was good. And by the end of it, we were doing really well.
We got
Like
signed
I was starting.
by the end of it.
I had
We were
that.
signed. You realize that? The guys from Power of the Lion, they had their record label and they wanted to sign us. I don't remember what it was called, but we were on their fucking page. There was no like endorsement deal or anything, but they fucking like the Ghost Agency was booking shows for us. Like, I don't even remember why I quit the band. Like, after it had gone...
Because you live in fucking Ruskin.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But even then, it was like everybody was practicing in Colton's garage, and fucking after I left, they had no
That's
mark
what
on it or
happened,
something.
fucker.
What, Colton's mom?
That's what. No, you and Robert started playing with Colton.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah. 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 We're gonna go practice with Colton and not tell you that we're fucking playing with another drummer.
I'm sorry, Dylan.
And then guess what happened?
Yeah, it got shit on for sure.
The bitch fell off.
Like, it was any easier to go fucking practice
Whatever.
in like Haines City or where the fuck you lived. Where did you live?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It was country road driving. I'm trying to say. It was a good time to reflect.
Yeah. Well, and then we mixed it all on that, or recorded it all on that little 4-track you had or whatever.
Dude, that was Robert's, and that thing is clean. I don't know why the YouTube video only cut off all the backs of it.
I wish you had the
It's weird.
recordings to those.
I got them somewhere.
You have them on CD somewhere.
I know I do.
You gotta,
Somewhere.
You gotta dig them up, man. You gotta find them. Because that
Dude, I
YouTube
can't find
video is
anything.
so horrible.
Yeah, but it
What the fucking
it's something.
chicken crisper?
You're like, load this up, and I was like, all right.
That band was fucking straight fueled by crispers, man. Alright. I had a good time. I'll talk to you next week, Dilly.
All right, dude. Check your messages.
Will do. See you in the MySpace revival.
Yeah, preach.
Preach the offer. Do you remember that?
No.
The fucking the guys from Great Redneck Hope. They're like, yeah, we're in a new band called Preach the Offer. Anyway, I love you, Dilly. I'll see you later.
I want to see this video.
All right, yeah, stay on the line. Let me end this and then I'll figure it out. You're gonna like record it with your phone.
I'm on my phone. I'm using my phone.
All right, had a great time tonight, guys. We'll see you next week. We're gonna be interviewing Name.